All right, y'all know what time it is. It is the ad show with Inflect Digital. We here to bring you quality content as always. We have some great ideas to share with you and perhaps some that you're already implementing, but we're going to talk about how to scale that as well. So let's get right to it.
Today we're going to talk about what you need to do to make the last few days of your holiday campaign successful, right? A few pointers. We're going to have a couple of main critical things. You know, now that Christmas is right around the corner, it's about like a couple of weeks out, literally, maybe like a week and a half out now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's about like a week away or something if you're seeing this. So we're going to give you like a few last minute things you want to implement to go ahead and get the most out of your holiday campaigns. Let's squeeze out some more conversions.
Indeed, indeed. So with that being the case, of course, one of the things we're going to want to touch on is definitely retargeting, right? You guys just finished your Black Friday campaigns, your Cyber Monday campaigns, and so forth. And you perhaps already got obviously your funnel set up, different strategies and so forth. Hopefully you killed it during that time and you're continuing to see some residuals from there. And now it's all about taking those previous customers during that time up until now, right? And now reintroducing them, whether it's to another great deal, great offer that you guys have, or upselling them something they already purchased from you. So I think that's where we're going to start there, right? With so definitely retargeting, right? So, you know, we're talking about custom audiences of people that already purchased from you, and even finding more people like them as well. So we're going to touch on that as well.
Absolutely. And what I'll probably say is, number one thing you want to start off with, and just keep this in mind, kind of what, flashing back to like Black Friday when we had talked about that, and so retargeting, right?
Yes.
Retarget. At this point, people have been making up their minds. They're already buying that holiday gifts, and so you want to go with a strategy to like introduce your products as gifts. You know, this holiday season, like basically. But keep in mind, guys, all these big products, probably everybody's already bought those main gifts for each other, right? Only there's going to be some last minute items. People are going to look like, oh well, what do I want to get? And so, if you have items that you can put together in like a gift pack kind of system, promote those out to new people, you know, take advantage of your lookalikes, do it off of your purchases. Hopefully, if you had a great Black Friday, Cyber Monday week, right, you should be able to go ahead and take those people, scale that, build a lookalike off of your sales and your purchases, a high value lookalike audience off
Absolutely.
of that, right? Like build a high value lookalike, based on value-based lookalike basically, and go ahead and get in front of those people, right? Try to get something out there, but your conversions are more likely going to be coming from your retargeting. So have strong offers, but focus a lot on your retargeting aspect.
Indeed. So as he mentioned, along with that, the value-based lookalike audience, right? Now you can, you know, tinker with that how you wish, right? We'll say that best practice would be to choose a 1% option when you do create that lookalike audience, but you know, I've seen people test 2%, you know, 3%, even 4% and higher to really, you know, get more out of it. Like you're likely to get the law of averages, right, working in your favor in that. And I mean, some of the top people that you guys probably admire and, you know, follow and watch their videos, all of those people, right, using 10%. Lookalike audiences even. Right. So it depends on your strategy. You're going for volume, and maybe there's definitely a high brand value already for, you know, particular client that you're working with or what have you. So that would make sense. But yeah, other than that, we definitely recommend the 1% to test to start if you haven't done that before.
Right, and keep in mind, guys, lookalike audiences, those percentages are variance levels, right? So 0 to 1%, what that means is that indicates a 0 to 1%, most likely 1% at that point, deviation from, if you were to match all the common attributes between your source audience, right? There's a 1% deviation from that source audience, and it's the audience which is most close to yours. If that's a 99% lookalike, right? Keep in mind, even a 10% lookalike then is technically 90% like, you know, your audience crew.
Right.
But that's still very similar, right? So there are times when you're gonna have, and look, although the 1% audience is what most closely resembles your main audience that you have, like your source audience that you have, the 3% audience is still very close to the main audience that you have. Mm-hmm. That's a 97%, you know, match rate, you know, kind of look-alike, you know, variance level that's there. So you might actually have people in your 1% that aren't going to buy, but you might have somebody in your 3% that's probably ready to buy, and so there too. So definitely test your lookalikes out. Reason why we typically recommend segmenting them is especially for clients that look to scale and are looking for that scalability. It gives you some level of measurement on there, so you know where your funnels stack up. So let's say if you're running a conversion campaign at scale for your 1% audience, and then if you were running it from 1 to 5%, now you're running that at scale, you're getting your conversions, which is fantastic, but it's not sustainable in the long run, because now if you start to exhaust that audience and you have, all of a sudden your conversion flow just stops, what are you going to go to? Now you're going to try to do 5 or 6 and stuff like that, right? But you don't know where your drop off was. Instead, if you're segmenting them out by 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, like that, let's say you're running conversion campaigns at scale everywhere, because only when you've identified an ad that looks good, and actually gets you results, and actually converts, and you have a converting offer, that's the only when you want to do that. But let's say you're cold prospecting with acquisition campaigns, and running conversion campaigns on there, you might notice that on a 3% lookalike, you can sustain a conversion campaign up for maybe like 2 weeks, but then you can't sustain it after that. But for your 1% audience, you can do it up to like 6 weeks, or maybe 2 months, or 3 months, or this, perennially, as you kind of go from there. And that's the reason why, because now at that 3%, after 2 weeks, when you say, okay, I can't get profitable conversions anymore, running direct purchase campaigns, now you're going to switch that funnel over, try to get more traffic built off of that, or video views, and nurture that audience, basically.
Indeed. So, that's what we want to share there. Of course, we'll have more to talk about with that when it comes to retargeting, whether that's your engagement audiences, your website pixel audiences, either your email list audience that you import into Facebook to create that custom audience, and then of course the lookalike audiences that we were just talking about. That's to get in front of more people that are similar to your current customers. And one way I used to illustrate that is, we all have best friends or people that we're close to. You can think about that as your custom audience. Those are people that are warm. Right. You know who they are. You know what they like. That's why you're friends with them. And then you want to find more people like those guys, right? That you hang out with. That'll be your lookalike audience, right? You want to find more people like you, right, in that sense there. But I think a good segue in relation to that will be maybe the placement optimization, right? So if we're going to use, let's say, automatic placements, for example, it definitely makes sense when retargeting, because those people are already familiar with your brand. So I think no matter where they're spending their time, whether that's on Instagram, whether that's Instagram stories or newsfeed or Facebook, or other apps and different things that they may be on as well. When it comes to audience network, it's a term. Right, when it comes to Facebook, you'll see those different placement options and so forth. So I think that's a good thing to talk about right now in relation with retargeting and why you would want to do it, and also we understand some hesitation too that some may have. Right,
and I mean, before you guys start taking up the pitchforks and saying that automatic placement sucks, you're putting these ads out there, we're not getting conversions here, these don't convert. Okay, keep in mind, now we're not saying that you just run with automatic placements. You need to be strategic about it, right? And when we're saying automatic placements, we're pretty much implying more so that you go for, more than one placement option, right? You just don't go for feed that I'm going to try to get all these likes and comments on my feed ad, get that social proof, and run that as my conversion. Take advantage of those different placement options at this point. It's going to give you better cost per delivery. It's going to take advantage of underpriced, placement options and so, because everybody's running towards feeds and so there. If we're telling you to do automatic placements, we're hoping that you're targeting people that are really warm, stuck in your conversion funnel at this point, add to cart audiences and so you can really turn those out. Or that you have a pretty strong offer from the first place, so that now you're getting more and more visibility on that strong offer or product that you have. If you're just going to be running a pair of, if you're going to be running an ad for a pair of socks that have nothing special about them, there's nothing like custom. There's no custom printing, there's no special wool, there's nothing on there. It's just a pair of socks that you're trying to run that have a Christmas print on them. It doesn't mean that you're going to start getting conversions like that with automatic placements. It's to enhance your offer. The key is you engage those people first with good content. Now the automatic placement, if you have a strong offer that you're running with for the holidays, you're keeping that offer in front and center, with everything. So that's kind of the point.
Indeed, indeed. So that's the thing there. So of course, if even when you now on Facebook, right, you're pretty savvy with the platform and so forth. You know that you can preview the ad, as it were. So if you're using different placements, you don't like the way that it appears and so forth. Of course, you can not go with that. But the idea is that you want to definitely take advantage of other opportunities in which your ad can be shown, and I think that Audience Network is a great opportunity to leverage. It really allows you to extend outside of Facebook and Instagram across the internet, and so I think that's a great opportunity to leverage there.
Right, absolutely. No, I think that's going to be good. Now, if you guys have been running ads this holiday season, you're probably seeing how competitive it is getting. So for you advanced people out there, I'll say that keep tweaking your bid strategies a little bit, taking advantage of different bidding there. Now, if you guys have the high value bidding option, which I know a lot of you don't, but if a lot of you do have that, take advantage of that, because that's actually pretty killer right now. Mm-hmm. That's actually been doing quite well. So I'm seeing some very efficient conversions come through. A couple of people that we were working with, it actually helped them find a good conversion strategy. Like it actually found them good people through there. So I think that's going to be a good one. If you don't have the high value bidding strategy until there, just kind of go ahead and continue with whatever your bid strategy is. Guys, you want to go with automatic bidding, just go with like lowest cost bidding, mm-hmm. right? Typically that's just going to it's going to keep you in the best position. Unless you're an expert, your CPAs, your overall site conversion rates and everything to a T. Don't try to go for those, manual bid strategies and so there. Hopefully, if you guys are worse, some of you that made it work in the past, those guys are well versed in it. Continue to do what you're doing. Obviously, we can't give you a direct recommendation on what's going to work best because you have to work out the numbers in that situation. But yeah, pump up those numbers. Try to get that, get those nice offers in front of people, get those conversions from there. But I think even though some testing that we've done with different like automatic versus manual bid strategies and so, right, I still call them by their old names.
Right.
Like lowest cost and target cost bidding and lowest cost with bid caps and everything. I would say that at the end of the day, I think retargeting is still where we're seeing the highest returns. You're still going to see the best returns on your retargeting. Facebook has definitely moved more so from being a direct acquisition type to more of an overall funnel based, kind of like, it's better based for funnels now. Kind of those old days of like strong bid strategies, leading forward, being aggressive with bid strategies, getting in front of people. That's getting more difficult as more people are getting better versed and better acquainted with that platform there. So still go for funneling. I think ROAS wise, you're still going to see better results when you're retargeting.
Indeed. Okay, so with that in mind, we talk about nurturing your audience, right? So, I found that a good way to do that is with a sequence of videos. And so, for example, if you have some really great content that you're using, I know that Facebook is prioritizing video, right? It's the most engaged creative on the platform. So if you do have that particular content available, that's what we'll recommend, right? You can build up your view numbers really fast if you actually optimize for video views as well. So that's a good way to get people acquainted, with your product or your service and so forth. And if they watch the first video, we know they'll be interested in the next video, so forth and so on. So a great way to build out a funnel in that sense, warming them up, and then you can start to move them down the funnel and start to optimize for those lower funnel objectives, as it were. So that's one thing. If you do not have, easy access to video, which I think everyone should, just pick up your phone and kind of get it going there. But one thing that Facebook have rolled out a couple months ago were the video creation kit. So if you don't have videos that have really great images that you want to convert into a video, and we're not talking about a slideshow, right? We're talking about, so as you're building out your campaign, you choose your objective, you get to the ad set level, get your audience and so forth, your bidding strategy, like we just talked about, your automatic placements, different things, edit placements, whatever you want to set up. Once you get to the ad level, you choose video, scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the video creation kit. You can click on that and use the different templates that they have available. It also going to show you a demo of what that looks like. So I think that also goes to show as well how much Facebook is prioritizing video and so forth. So they're trying to make it easier for you guys if you don't have those particular resources available. So again, video is definitely number one choice when it comes to the creative side of things.
Right. And we'll go into more detail with, I think we'll have a very specific video that talks more so about actual video strategy. We'll actually have something laid out where it's A to Z. So if you're a local business, if you're some kind of government organization, if you're like a big company, whatever the case is, we'll have things laid out. We'll talk about video. I think people underestimate video so much, even now, when it's the most engaging piece of creative on the platform, right? Because you don't think about it strategically. You just think that, okay, this is good content, people like video, because commercials and videos, right? Strategically, there's so much you can do with videos, right? In terms of mixtures between retargeting and excluding and things like that, that you could have a killer strategy, storytelling wise, or you can target such a small group of people and really be so cost efficient with it, with these different video strategies. People think that you're blasting or you're spending millions of dollars on advertising when you're only spending like a few $100 or like maybe a couple $1,000.
Right, because it's very cost effective.
It's very cost effective, and if you're smart in how to kind of target and exclude those people and sequence things out, we'll actually talk about that in the video, give you the full details there, so keep in line with the ad show, because we're going to talk about that pretty soon.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. Alrighty then, so...
Yeah, I think, basically to kind of end it today, we're going to want to talk about, we talked about the retargeting, we talked about some things, the lookalikes, things that you can do in terms of finding those last minute customers. Guys, if you have e-com background and so, keep in mind shipping times and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Be upfront about it, because, why would you want to, lie? I know you get a couple of conversions, but then if also you're not familiar with Facebook's misleading experiences, kind of things going on right now, pages are going to get rated. So if you do lie, it's going to hurt you very badly, the coming year. And so, right? So stay focused on getting right conversions. Still got a little bit of time. Get those going. Get those things sold. Try to do it for maybe the new year and stuff. Get those last minute conversions in. But yeah, like I said, retarget, upsell. Target all of your past customers. Try to upsell them on something. Give them like a buy one get one or some interesting thing like that to just have as a gift. And throw in things like gift packaging or gift specials or something like that.
For sure. Indeed. So yeah, that's all, folks, for the ad show with Inflect. But stay tuned for our next show, because we're going to be talking about a lot more things, and we definitely want to provide value. So if you guys have any questions, comments, please leave below. We'll be sure to follow up and go from there. So we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. And guys, remember to subscribe. We're going to keep giving you more value and so on this show, anything that we know. I don't know if you guys realize, but this was a very advanced level stuff, some of the things that we talked about here. I know some of you guys who are advanced level, and so you're like, okay, yeah, cool. But I'm sure like some of you guys out there, we hope we opened your eyes to some things here, okay? So you guys have a great holiday season. Close out the holiday strong. Get those conversions going. And yeah, we'll see you soon.